wedding day 32 years ago. Looking through the eyes of love, looking through the eyes of love. And if you kind of really look at the eyes of his eyes, there's no love there. But please don't let this feeling end. You're everything that I am. Everything I want to be. That's what we're talking about. Bonding in marriage. Bondage in marriage. Ownership. Taking. I can see what's mine now. No! No! I'm 25 years old when I decided to get married. Why? Why would I get married at 25? And not even just 25. Why would I get married, period? At this point in my life, it really was because that's what everybody was doing. All my friends are getting married because that's all they dreamed about, was getting married and having kids. And that was never, ever my dream, but I really felt like, you know what, I'm the only girl. And there was that pressure in the family to get married and have children. Tony and I had absolutely nothing in common, nothing in common. We met at a bar I was DJing at. His parents kept telling him that I was good for him. When I first met him, he had one of those ankle bracelets, and he was a bad boy and got in trouble a lot. The thing is with him is he always got busted, but I wasn't good for him just because, you know, I had a career path. And in their mind, they're thinking he's just a factory rat and he has got no goals and no ambitions. And here I am with goals and ambitions. And we were totally different like that. But the thing is that doesn't make me good for him, because in that thinking, they're thinking that I'm gonna change him and I'm gonna make him a better man or a better person. And the pressure was really on about that too. I really kind of felt that because his family loved me. They thought I was just so awesome. My parents really didn't like Tony. They didn't really care much for him at all. And that would be because I think they wanted better for me, right? They wanted me to marry money. They wanted me to get in with white collar and not blue collar. Right before I walked down the aisle, I was nervous because in my heart, was like, I don't want to do this. And I turned right to my dad and I said, Dad, I don't want to do this. And he said, it's a little too late now, don't you think? In that moment, my dad should have taken my ass right out of that church and saved me from all the bullshit. And then on top of that, it's a church wedding, which that was all my parents. All my parents and his parents are both very religious, and they really pretty much demanded a church wedding. And Tony wasn't religious, and I think we did that for them, to give them that, because now we want to get married in the eyes of Christ. I guess a lot of people that do get married under the religious context really feel like that they have to stay married because of that, right? So if they get married under the eyes of God, then therefore they have to stay no matter how miserable, how the love is gone, whatever, they're going to stay in that marriage. And that's sad to me, very sad to me, because nobody should do that. And in my case, I did not do that. When you think about marriage, it's just a contract between each other. And your vows are, I promise this, I promise that, till death do us part. Whew, yeah, right. Why? Why even do it anymore? Was I caught up in the fantasy of love, the fantasy of marriage, the fantasy of having this exuberant wedding, which you can see I did. I went all out and had the big wedding. It had to have been peer pressure. You know, everybody's doing it, and every one of them did do it. Everyone in this picture has been married and divorced, married and divorced.
Are they still alive?
The kids?
No.
These, yeah. Yeah, they're all alive.
Oh, nobody took out life insurance policies.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But actually, this little dude here, the little ring bearer, cute. He's such a cute little shit. Ian, he never got married. As a matter of fact, I communicate with him today, and he said he has no use for it. He said there's no use for it. What's the use of marriage? It is just really their day. It's a big production for women. They get to wear this beautiful gown and this stupid hat. I don't even know why. I hate hats. Why the fuck did I wear a hat? But I did. Mike and I thought it was fun. We were in Vegas and we were partying. And so we wanted to see, just because we were in the business, what it was like to go through a drive-through and get married in a drive-through. And as you can see, it's just a joke. I mean, the guy literally came out and he rambled off a bunch of crap. We gave him our camera to film it. And he, says all these stupid things.
You commit yourself to Michael and to his love and to his affection?
I will.
Michael, will you promise to love Shelley, to honor her, to cherish and respect her, to serve her, to be loyal to her, to keep to her and only her, so long as you both shall live?
I do.
And Shelley, will you promise to love Michael, to honor him, to cherish and respect him, to serve him, to be loyal to him, to keep to him and only him, so long as you both shall live?
I do.
All right. Now, Michael, if you'll please take the ring that you have and place it upon the ring finger of your dear bride. And if you'll please hold her hand and look deep into her eyes, and please repeat after me. Will you say, Shelley, with this ring,
Shelley, with this ring,
I promise you all my love.
I promise you all my love.
I promise you all my life.
I promise you all my life.
Today I take you
Today I take you
as my wife.
as my wife.
I mean, I'll kiss the ring to seal with your love upon her hand. You're supposed to kiss the ring now, Michael.
Kiss the ring?
Yeah, correct.
But if you want to do it just for fun, then just make it a commitment ceremony where it's not legal, right? And that's all this was. The drive-thru was fun. Okay. In 2008, Mike and I did a 1-month trip in the Bahamas and Florida and the Keys. And while we were in the Bahamas, we actually did get married and had a beautiful beach wedding. But that was really just for fun too, because we were in a beautiful place with the ocean and a dog that tried to bite me. And we just had a beautiful, loving experience. But we never, when we came back to the States, we never registered the license. We never made that legal here because we didn't want to. We didn't care. I mean, we didn't want to get under that thumb. And we just always thought it was just kind of fun. And then when Mike retired, of course, we ended up taking that and then making it legal here because we needed to for Social Security reasons. So if anything ever happened to Mike, then of course, then I would be taken care of. So for legal reasons, there are a lot of reasons people get married for that reason. When marriage all began, I mean, marriage had nothing to do with love at all. I mean, their parents would match them up because it was all about the dowry. It was all about money. It was about the family's money. Love wasn't even involved. And then eventually it became, where people were saying, no, man, I want to marry somebody I love. But why can't we just love? Why do we have to marry? And then marriage then, I think, became fantasy, became this idea, this illusion. And it's the same thing when you see it on TV or in bridal magazines and all that. The young girls, little girls fantasize about their wedding day. Not about who they're going to marry, but their wedding day. They fantasize about that. And they don't even, it really could be anybody. It could be your dog. So now we have a couple from Poland. They do not speak hardly any English, but they get talked into doing a shaman wedding, mainly because they're in Arizona and the shaman, the Indian land, and it's a big deal here. You come to Sedona and get married by a shaman, even though you don't believe probably in their culture or anything of what Indians believe in or shamans believe in. But you're just going to do it because it's cool. It's something cool to do. They insisted on going to merry-go-round. And this is what happened. So the monsoon did come in, and it was so intense. The lightning, you could feel the lightning. You could smell the sulfur in the air.
Ozone, I believe.
Ozone?
I
Sulfur.
think that's what it is.
It's like a sulfur. Yeah, it was so intense. The hail was probably like this big coming down. And Euquala would not take them off the cliff. Now you can't see it because it's so cloudy, but mind you, they are literally on a cliff, a little small rock that is hanging out with at least probably, a 500-foot drop?
No, probably 2, maybe 3.
200 or 300-foot drop. On this, and it's coming, and he's calling the rain gods, he's calling the wind gods, and let the feathers, because he has his ritualistic thing that he goes through in his ceremony, and he will not stop. Not stop. He wouldn't stop and not take him off the cliff. This was dangerous, okay? This was scary dangerous. And this poor guy, I mean, I swear, he aged from whatever age he was, 20 years in this ceremony. You can just see it when the lightning was cracking. And eventually, Mike and I had to pull it out. We had to take our cameras and run. And of course, we had metal umbrellas. Ended up sticking the cameras under our shirts, doing everything we could. We had mudslides running down between our feet. Easily could have just taken us and swept us right off the damn cliff. It was really intense, the most intense thing. He lost the wedding rings because his part of the ritual was to set him on a rock. Lost the wedding rings. She's crying, and so much of it, unfortunately, I kept the audio rolling and tried to get what I can get, but the dad, and this really broke my heart. I mean, it was just so touching. The dad spoke no English, and he stood out there and stood by his daughter. He would not leave while she was out there on that cliff. Would not leave. Well, then after that whole experience, what they said after all that, which was very terrifying for their guests, for everybody, was this was a sign. This was a sign. God gave us a sign that if we can endure this, we can endure anything in our marriage. I'm not giving anybody advice. You live your life, you do what you need to do. I just want you to think, maybe just think about it. Is it worth it to get into debt? Is it worth it to make that investment, to actually get a piece of paper that really means nothing? I'm seeing a huge shift with our roles, and also that marriage is big time on the decline, which is great to hear. And mainly because I really feel like women and men both want to find out who they are. They want to go on their own. They want to be independent. They want to pursue careers, pursue things, and fulfill all these things before they do that, or they're actually very comfortable with who they are. But there is a huge decline actually right now. Millennials are just not jumping on board with the whole marriage thing as much. So there is a huge decline. All it does really is it's bondage. I mean, you are now bonded, and it's the conditioning and the programming. With that is think about you, and I think about that with me and why I married Tony. We had nothing in common, seriously. I mean, I did not want to be a wife. I did not want to cook. I did not want to clean. I had no domestic skills whatsoever because I didn't want them. I was way more interested in traveling, seeing the world, and being out and doing things. And he was more traditional on the thinking of get the job, the full-time job, and then come home to the wife for dinner and get dogs, and no cats, only dogs back then, and have this house and have the mortgage and get your cars, and that just never was what I wanted. So why did I settle? Why did I do it? Why did I waste all that money? And why did I get suckered into it? Because I couldn't say no. I got a guy on his knees with a big ring in his hand proposing to me. And it's true. It's like, if you feel like marriage is the only way you're going to keep this man or keep this woman, then do not get married. Good luck. Be heard. Be heard. This guy's awesome guy, very supportive of people that want to venture out and do their own thing and break away from corporate bullshit and venture out into their own passions, their own dreams. So please check him out. Check out his merch. I'm not selling it, but he is. I mean, I love it. It's soft and it's be heard. And that's what we need to do more often. We need to be heard. We need to put our voices out there.